So when we're talking about infrastructure, we're talking about all the things that help us live and live safely and communicate and all those sort of things. So it's all about, underneath my feet there's loads of pipes for stormwater, for wastewater, for water supply. There's a number of cables. Some of them are hanging up here on poles, and some of them are underneath the ground. So that's like electricity and the phone line, or fibre optic if we're lucky, because that goes much faster, and all the other things that service all our houses and our businesses. But also we're talking about all the roads and the bridges and all those sort of things, and which help us travel around, and the stop banks. And so there's loads and loads of different types of infrastructure underneath that heading, which we need to think about when we're planning a large area like this. So what we need to think about in terms of infrastructure is a number of things. So first of all, it's what we call the strategic infrastructure, the ones that connect places together from all around the city. So I'm talking about the major roads like Garland's Road and Wainoni Road and Pages Road, Anzac Drive and so on, which are really important corridors of which we drive, freight goes down, and all those things that we need to think about. And the bridges, of course, are a really important part of that. And then we talk about, we've got major wastewater pipes going through the red zone, which takes wastewater from the north of the city all the way over to Bromley for treatment. So we want to make sure that that keeps on going, don't we? So when we're planning, we need to take into account where those are at the moment, and if we want to put something where those pipes are, there's either we can't do it, or those pipes need to be moved, and there's a cost to that. So then it becomes this trade-off between how much it costs and what the benefits are of doing that. So these are the things that we need to trade off, because of course these costs can be quite high, so we need to think about it carefully. So water supply is really important for Canterbury, and of course we're really lucky here in Christchurch in that the water comes from below our feet, from water that's coming from underneath the Waimak River and out in the Canterbury Plains. Underneath the Avon River Corridor, there's a confining aquifer, which means that the water supply for around here comes from deep down below that confining aquifer, which means that things that we do on the land doesn't get into that into that aquifer, but it can go into the river. So we need to think about, for the river quality, what we're doing on the land, but also we don't want to waste all that water that's coming from the aquifer. So we need to think carefully about our plant choices. We need to think carefully about our land uses and how that ensures that we can have an efficient management of our water. So when we're working through this plan, we need to really think carefully about how we make sure that all those strategic infrastructure can stay in place, or if it needs to move to make way for something else, to ensure that efficient movement of electricity or wastewater or traffic still happens, and we can still keep everything connected together. But all of this costs quite a lot of money. Infrastructure is quite expensive, so we need to think carefully about all those value for money equations and make sure that we're making the best decisions for our future and the future of our children who are going to follow on from after us.